Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Farzy Show. My name is Marc Farzetta. This is the Steven Singer Studio. I've been waiting all day for Tuesday night. We're going to play 2 games later than Tuesday night. Anyway, Eagles, Washington football team play tonight, and I'm really excited, and you should be too. Yeah. The Vikings kind of put a damper on that last night when they went ahead and beat the Bears, and even across stories, because the Bears being so terrible at football, despite they had a lot of injuries last night, but they've been terrible pretty much all year. The Vikings improved to 7-7 on the season, so now the Eagles have to win just to keep pace with the Vikings, so that the last 3 games of the season still very much matter for the Eagles. So it's a whole conundrum. It's going to come down to the wire most likely, because the Eagles, no doubt, are going to win the game tonight. My prediction has not changed in terms of whether or not they're going to win or they're going to lose. But I'll give you the official prediction for the second time around at the end of today's show. Hugh Douglas III will be joining us today to break down all things Eagles, all things Christmas, and all things playing 2 days later, and including, and this was unprompted, what Brian Dawkins would have told Hugh Douglas if this situation happened to the Eagles. There basically comes a time where you have to say, all right, put all your bitching in a ball and throw it out the window. And that's what needs to happen for this game tonight. Tuesday Night Football. Whoop-de-doo. I remember being at the Joe Webb game. That game wasn't fun. I don't think this game is going to have the same type of outcome for a number of reasons. One, a little bit more motivation. I mean, you can't be pissed at the snow. Like, for the Michael Vick Eagles to come out and lose to the Joe Webb the Vikings, you can't be pissed at the snow for delaying that game. You're going to be pissed at the situation that the Eagles are in right now, and I think they're going to take it out on the Washington football team, who have no business being on the football field because it should have just been a forfeit. But, money rules the world, as we stated many times yesterday. So we'll get into plenty of that conversation on today's show. But what did I say just 2 weeks ago on this very program about Joel Hans Embiid? What did I say? If you're driving to work, if you're sitting around, if right now you woke up, you're having your coffee, you have me on the old YouTube there on your TV, what did I say? Just take a moment today and just thank those that preside over the world of sports that are more powerful than us. Thank them for delivering Joel Embiid. Yeah, you know what? Give a little hat to Sam Hinkie, too. Give him a little, love you, Sam. Do a little of that for Joel Embiid and what he did last night to the Boston Celtics. I, in no way, shape, or form, expected the 76ers to win that basketball game. I'll be honest with you. I bet against them last night. There. It's out there. It's in the open. But I bet against them, and I rooted for myself to lose money. And I was like, well, let me just not bet with my heart here. Let me bet with my head. And the Sixers said, to hell with you, Farzetta. And they won an amazing, insanely amazing basketball game. And that was my takeaway from last night's game. I put that out there on the interweb there on the Twitter, saying it was an insanely impressive win by the 76ers. That's exactly what it was. Joel Embiid, 41 points. Seth Curry, 26 points. Tobias Harris, 25 points. Tobias Harris probably needed that day off more than anybody last night. And I said all last week, it's time to sit Tobias Harris, and not a matter of really even talent at this point. It's just a matter of he's telling you he's not 100%. Let him get healthy. Well, maybe about 4 days in between games actually helped him out more than anybody because he was allowed to get that rest. And he bounced back last night with a great performance, really helping out this team in a game that they needed him to help them out the most in. 25 points from him. He had 7 rebounds to go along with that. Seth Curry was running point for me. He had 7 assists last night. That was the type of performance you need to see from the I hate to say the word role players, but anybody not named Joel Embiid. Like Joel Embiid, is going to bring it. And last night is a perfect example, and I'll get to that in a second. But to stick to the role players, the guys you had playing these roles were insane. You had Tobias Harris play his best game. You had Seth Curry just shoot the lights out last night. Danny Green stepped up for you in the fourth quarter, hitting a big three-pointer. Before that, Matisse Thybulle hit a big 3 for you. He doesn't hit a lot of those. Hit a huge 3 for you in this game. Late in the game with about 4:30 left in it. It was exactly what you needed from guys not named Joel Embiid last night. And then I think Doc Rivers, and we'll let you hear from Doc Rivers in a second, but he summed it up the best when he talked about the way this bench played. The bench scored this many points. Old number one. They scored 1 point last night, and it was by Isaiah Joe, so I guess their most tenured guy. All right, so good. But everybody else, Bassey, who we've talked about throughout the year, I had to write these guys' names down. Aaron Henry, Miles Powell. Are you saying Powell? Why do you keep doing that? That was a big part of the Sixers bench last night. Those guys didn't score. And I'll let you hear in a second how Doc Rivers summed up the bench performance from last night. But the Sixers get the huge win. They were down 7 points late in this game, and they responded in the best possible way. They just kept on bringing it. And the man that brought it the most throughout the night, let's get the obvious out of the way, Joel Embiid with his 41 points. Joel Embiid, I'm going to say this. Watching him play last night did not look like Joel Embiid. The fact that he scored 41 points makes you look at the box score and go, oh, my God, he looked incredible. Step backs, jump shots, threes, foul shots. Yes, all those things look great. But Joel Embiid, I feel he's always at his best when he's at his most dominant is when he's attacking the rim. I don't think anything really, anybody can really dispute that. However, what's absolutely insane about that man's game is that yesterday he was forced to play because of, what do you want to call it here? Energy conservation? He played a much easier game. He played a much easier brand of basketball on his body. Knowing that he wasn't going to have Andre Drummond coming off the bench because he's in COVID protocol, he was going to have to log a lot more minutes last night, and especially because the Sixers particularly wanted to win this game against the Boston Celtics. And Doc Rivers also talked about that last night, about this team's mindset. But Joel Embiid, instead of playing that center role that he always plays and he's the best at and dominant at and always, he played that small forward role last night. He played like he was a small forward in the 90s type role. And I've made that comparison with him before because that's part of his game. And I'm not denying that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. What I'm saying is he could make an amazing about face in his style of play and concentrate just mostly on that play. He went to the basket hard, especially late in that game where he drove on freedom and he was able to make that layup. That was great. But the coast-to-coast play that he had. But I'm talking about the majority of this game. If you go back and watch, you saw a lot of the step-back jumpers, like the two we had late in the fourth quarter. You saw three-point attempts, and he's done that before. That's nothing new. But the consistency in which you saw that style of basketball last night from Joel Embiid, just so he could conserve his energy, knowing that it would need a late quarter push, a late game push, was amazing to me. I've never seen a player with that type of diverse skill set, where all of a sudden you could play under the basket, you could dominate under there, and then you could pop out and play the vast majority of your game from the mid-range spots to beyond the arc. That is what makes him so damn special. And last night, they needed that so bad. They needed every minute of him on the basketball court last night. And he produced every minute he was out there. Now, I know a lot of the naysayers, the haters, we still had 5 turnovers. Yeah! Nobody else was handling the ball. You have no Tyrese Maxey out there running point for you. Seth Curry was running the point for you for the vast majority of the time. Shake Milton's not out there running point for you. Somebody had to control the ball for the vast majority of the time. And the vast majority of the time, it was Joel Embiid. And for the vast majority of this game, the Sixers were winning. It wasn't until late that the Celtics actually started making a surge. And then, wow, in the fourth quarter, when they went up 7, I went, well, that's it. There you go. And no, they just bounced back and they took control of the game. A big part of that was Joel Embiid's drive. Big part of that was Matisse Thybulle and his 3, followed by Danny Green's 3. And then Joel Embiid did what Joel Embiid said he is going to do for this basketball team, which is simply be the closer. Joel Embiid, after the game, was asked about how big a win this was for the Sixers, especially when they didn't have Shake Milton, when they didn't have Tyrese Maxey, when they didn't have Andre Drummond coming off the bench. They also still don't have George Niang. All these guys, they didn't have last night. Aaron Henry was logging minutes for you last night. This is Joel Embiid on the win.
Oh, man, it feels so good, especially under, man, missing a couple of key guys. But I'm glad we fought and, got the stops when we needed to. We've been struggling a little bit, but I'm glad to finally get a win.
That's Joel Embiid to NBC Sports Philadelphia last night after the game, and you just hear it in his voice how exhausted he sounded. It wasn't his normal, jovial self. Yeah, I guess it sounded like somebody give him a pillow and just let him take a nap because he's done. He's put forth the effort. He's done. He carried this team to a victory. He's done. Good for him. And then Doc Rivers talked about Joel Embiid after the game as well.
He was awesome. Took his shots. You know, what we talk about with him every day. Make or miss, just get your shot. Get the shot you want. And I thought he did that. I thought Seth did that as well. Execution down the stretch was absolutely perfect. The spacing, I think we got 2 threes off their spacing off the post was perfect. That was pretty good.
It was pretty awesome is what it was. And the 2 threes, again, were Danny Green and Matisse Thybulle, and not in that order, reverse that. But it was just that amazing. It was just that great. Love seeing what you were able to see from the Sixers team, especially down the stretch, because they could have caved. They could have completely caved in this game, and everyone would have went, hey, look, I know the Celtics are down guys too, but the Sixers have been doing this for a while now. I get it. And they're on the road, and so the Celtics are a good team, and Sixers have been down Ben Simmons all year, right? So you're going to make the excuses were there for the taking. Like the Sixers had a plethora of excuses out there that they just could have picked any one of them to say, well, I guess we're down 7 at this point with about 4:30 to go in the game. So, all right, we had a good run. And they did it. They said to hell with that. Doc Rivers on the to hell with that type of mindset.
The guys are in a great mental place tonight about this game. They really wanted it. You can feel it. You can sense it. That still doesn't mean you're going to win it. But they wanted this game tonight.
Is any part of that the way you guys have played lately?
That plus what we had, and I told them before the game, everybody is going through this, and every night there's going to be nights, upcoming that one team's going to decide we can't do it, and one team's going to decide we can win. And I thought tonight we decided we could win this game.
That speaks volumes, folks. That speaks volumes. Every team is going through something with COVID right now. Every team is going through adversity right now. It's going to be up to those individual teams to say to themselves every single night, we either take the excuses that are there for us or we say to hell with it and we keep on playing and we keep on going forward. That's what the Sixers did last night. They were not going to lose this game. It was important to them. The way they had played lately, they wanted to put in the rearview mirror as quickly as possible. They weren't able to do that on Sunday. They came right back on Monday, and they took care of business against a legit team in the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown playing for him, Jason Tatum playing for him, Marcus Smart's out there playing for him. Sixers looked at their 3, and they said, all right, here's our best shot. Embiid, Curry, and obviously Tobias Harris. That was what you wanted to see from those big 3, if you will, now with Seth Curry taking over one of those roles. That's what you wanted to see from this starting 5, and that's what they gave you. Danny Green even stepped up, have a good game for you points-wise, defensively speaking as well. And by the way, real quick, I believe there's about a minute left, maybe a minute and a half left in the game. No, it was much less than that. I think it was 50 seconds. And Danny Green, they force a turnover. Danny Green's dribbling up the court, loses control of the ball, and goes after it. And this was close to the Sixers basket, or close to the Boston basket, I guess. And Danny Green's running up the court, trying to get the ball to go get the layup, loses track of it, loses control of it. And Jason Tatum grabs him by the shoulders, throws him to the ground, and the ref's called out of bounds. Like, even if you lose control of that ball, you still, as a defender, Tatum in this scenario, can't grab the player and throw him into the ground. That's still a foul. And I think the Sixers were in the bonus at that point, too. So that would have been a huge difference in the game and a huge gripe had the Sixers somehow lost this game by a point. That was an interesting thing worth pointing out. And then finally, this is what I teased earlier, what Doc Rivers had to say about the bench in this game, who had 1 point. I threw the question in here as well. Listen to Doc Rivers' postgame.
I think it's the first time in 6 years a team has played and had 1 or fewer bench points. So what does it say to win a game like that?
It's huge. And I told our guys after the game, I said, bench, you guys are on fire tonight with everything but scoring, And they did so many little things defensively. They just hung in there. You look at the plus minuses, they didn't have one guy I think was a minus. Everybody else was a plus. That's all you needed tonight from them is to just hold the fort, and I thought they did that. Bears are down 17-3. Jeez.
That that needed to be said, and I'm glad Doc Rivers said that because the Bears did nothing to help you. The Bears did nothing to help you in that game, unfortunately. Anyway, what he said about the bench is right on point. You guys, it was like you're trying to set your buddy up with a girl and she's not really that attractive, and it's just like, so what's she like? Great personality. Did the bench get points? No, but they did everything else great. You guys are killing it tonight, just not in scoring. But everything else, you guys are doing phenomenal. And you know what? Sometimes that is very accurate. And you know what? Sometimes that's exactly what you need. And last night, that's exactly what the Sixers needed from their bench. Just give me some good defense. Don't turn the basketball over. Let Joel Embiid score 41 points in 40 minutes. And everybody else is gold. Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, you guys are just phenomenal. Yeah, that's all you need sometimes. That's all you need sometimes. And I thought Doc Rivers summed it up rather well. Thursday night, Sixers back in action against the Atlanta Hawks. That ought to be a great time. And we'll get to that, obviously, probably sometime next week after we take a couple of days for the fine Christmas break. Let me tell you about the good people of Steven Singer Jewelers, ladies and gentlemen. What did I say? What did I say to you? Christmas is this Saturday. And Steven Singer Jewelers is fully stocked with the number one gift this holiday season. Real diamond stud earrings. But you're running out of time. Go right now to IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com for the most beautiful, best value, real diamond studs anywhere. Choose a pair of Anita diamond stud earrings for just under $270. And if that sounds familiar, that's because that's the same price as last year. Steven Singer is not jacking up prices like everywhere else. He's got the perfect price, not just today and tomorrow, but every single day. Steven's real diamond studs are flawless to the eye, near colorless, and come with his famous full value lifetime guarantee. You can trade up your diamond studs anytime and receive exactly what you paid towards a new pair. All that with the unbeatable 100-day, full 100-day, 100% money back guarantee. This is your last chance for free shipping. Go right now to IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Receive free shipping to arrive in time for Christmas. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price. IHateStevenSinger.com. Without further ado, it is a fine Tuesday morning, which means it's Hugh's Day. Hugh Douglas gives us his takes on Christmas, as well as this Eagles-Washington game and where we're at right now, 2 games after it was supposed to be played, what the player's mindset has to be going into this 7 o'clock tip-off. I almost called it kickoff in South Philadelphia. Without further ado, let's talk to our friend Hugh Douglas. And joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, our good friend on this Tuesday morning, Hugh Douglas III. Happy Hugh's Day, brother.
What's going on, man? Let's get ready for this holidays.
All right, I'm going to ask you this right out of the gate, and I've asked everybody I've talked to so far in the last couple of days here. Best gift a young Hugh Lamont Douglas III ever got for Christmas? What is the best gift you ever got?
And it had to be a graphic T-shirt, man. You know, my kids, they know their dad so well. My son, like they buy me stuff that they know that I'm actually going to wear.
Okay.
It was like a long time ago. I think it was Hugh, or was it Kayla? Somebody got me a Thanos T-shirt. Somebody got me a Thanos like T-shirt with
wow,
Thanos on it. Yeah, before Thanos became cool. It was one of those. So yeah, and then one year, I think my daughter got me a Black Panther T-shirt. It was either or. Like my son got it for me, or my daughter, but they both bought me graphic. They bought me like Marvel T-shirts, so that was pretty cool.
Look at that! Look at that!
They know their dad is simple. They know I'm simple, man. They don't know it take a lot to please me.
So you never got a necktie then? They never gave you a necktie?
No, I used to get ties, but that like bow ties and stuff. But they never gave me those. Like my son bought me a pair of shoes last year, like a pair of Pumas, that I have not worn yet. You know, so yeah. Pretty cool gifts.
You know, you haven't seen me in person in a while. I wear nothing but Pumas nowadays.
Is that right?
That's right, my friend.
Listen, man, it's about being comfortable. You know what's funny, Mark? Because I was I wanted to get a pair like the Jordan 1s.
Sure.
They're expensive as hell. Like it's hard to find. Like this sneaker business with the shoes and everything, I did not realize how big of a business it was. because you actually, in order to get shoes, they have like release dates, apps, and everything where like it's a whole sneaker culture. I mean, I knew about that, but I didn't know how deep it was. I didn't know how far down the rabbit hole I wanted to go.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely insane. Real quick, what about when you were a little kid? Well, what was the best gift, Lil Hugh?
Got a green machine. I was telling you know what's funny. I was on the air the other day, and I was asked the same question, and I said it gave the same answer, and everybody looked at me like, "What the hell is that?" It's a big wheel. It was a big wheel. All the 70s babies know exactly what I'm talking about. The big wheel when you used to do this, and it was green.
Yes,
it was a green machine. Yeah, green machine.
Hold on a minute. I just realized, I literally just right now in this conversation with you just had an epiphany about my own life. I had one of those. I loved that. And I just now realized it was probably a hand-me-down from one of my older cousins.
Yeah, the green machine was that toy.
Yeah, the black. I want to say it was like the frame of it was black, and then everything else was green.
Yeah, and it had the little levers on the side. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow, just epiphany. Okay, that's fantastic. That's beautiful. And you know what? The older I get, the more I agree with Thanos. By the way,
what's that? Getting rid of half of the people?
Just disappear.
Yeah. Crazy.
Now you just real. I want to wrap up this conversation about the comics. You saw Spider-Man. You're a big comic book guy. You have been forever. And just for my listeners and viewers at home. What'd you think?
It was just okay. It was just okay to me. Like, you know, people, like, I said this on Twitter. I said, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, but Spider-Man to me was just okay. And I don't know, Mark, if that was partly because when I went to the movie theater, I went to 11 o'clock showing, and when I got there at 11, the movie theater wasn't actually open at 11. So I had to wait 30 minutes before somebody actually came to work to open up the movie theater. So when they opened up the movie theater, I missed like a half an hour of the movie. So what I had to do, I then went into my app to find out the next time the movie was playing, which was 12 o'clock. So I went to the 12 o'clock showing. I sat in on the 12 o'clock showing so I could see the whole movie. So that was a long day for me. But I'll say this, like I watched it. It had some good action. It had a lot in it that is going to set Marvel up for the second phase of the Marvel universe. But to be in the top 5, I would say I don't know about that. Okay. Because there's a couple Marvel movies that, regardless to any time that they're on, that I'll watch. Like the Marvel's Avengers, when they were fighting in New York, I watched that one. Okay. The Marvel Endgame, definitely that's one of my favorite. Maybe the one with Ultron was really good. So I don't know. You know, I don't know if I put it in my top 5, but I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for that. So I'm already getting heat for it. People have already disowned me and already said I'm smoking too much of the marijuana or whatever. But I'm just saying, man, it's one of those ones where, I mean, it was good, but it just wasn't. I didn't think it was great. Okay. I didn't think it was great.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm a guy that will go watch the movies and be like, oh, that was fun. You know, I'm not like you, right? I'm not like you, my friend. Like I can't die on Marvel Hill. You know what I'm saying?
It is the thing for me. This is how I gauge a movie. Like there are certain movies that you could just sit down and just enjoy how good it is. Like you could just, The Godfather. You watch The Godfather every time it comes on.
You're damn right I do.
Goodfellas. You watch Goodfellas every time it comes on television. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every time it comes on television, you'll watch that. This is not. I don't rate this movie as one that, like if somebody say, hey, you want to go see it again? Not really.
Yeah, like, I get that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, not really.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So hey, how about this whole COVID thing? Right? That's crazy.
Oh man, let me tell you what happened. Friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because I take my naps during the day because I wake up hella early. So.
Time travel. We've talked about this. That morning show, that post-morning show nap is time travel.
It's not even a nap. It's like going to bed.
It's going to bed. Yeah.
So I wake up Friday, right? And a friend of mine from Philadelphia say, hey, so what do you think about all the games being canceled? And I said, Mark, I said, now it's Friday, right? Like,
Good God, yeah.
Got Saturday, I ain't got nothing. We're getting, like we're watching the bowl games or whatever,
Sure.
the college bowl games, whatever. Yeah. So you're not really thinking about football. And plus, the Saturday game blew my mind. Like the actual Saturday game, I forgot. Like we're in that phase now. And I was like, what games? Where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? Because what type of media person are you that you don't know what? And I was like, wait a minute, what happened? The Eagles game has been postponed. And Eagles fans are livid because the commissioner said at the beginning of the season that if you test positive for COVID, then your games are forfeit. So in essence, these games should be forfeit. And Eagles fans are livid. What type of sportscaster? They got mad at me. What type of sportscaster are you? And I'm like, the one that gets to sleep. What? Hold
on, just real quick. Do I know this person?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
But diehard Eagles fan.
All right.
It's mad, it's displaced anger. I get it, displaced anger.
All right.
So I get that, but I wake up and now the Cleveland Browns are playing on television on a channel that I can't find in my area here, because I guess it's a local game. I guess it's regional. I guess
NFL Network, I believe, has it.
Well, see, I don't have that. So there it is. There's that. I don't have the NFL
what kind of NFL person are you, or football broadcaster are you? You know how you sleep all damn day.
Listen, when I cut the cord, that was the one channel that I forgot to add. And as the season progressed, because I've been lucky. I've been able to catch a few Eagles games, and the only ones I really care about are Falcons games, and the regional games that are in a region. But yeah, so I didn't catch them. But
gotcha.
Obviously, I didn't see that. So oh well. But yeah, the Eagles game being postponed, Eagle fans were hot, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it like this. This would have been better served to happen earlier in the season, if say everything with the COVID and everything.
Sure.
Because now you're in a playoff push.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's canceling games in a playoff push, especially when you have so many different teams so tightly knitted, grouped together. I said tightly knitted like a sweater. I was about to say like a sweater, but tightly grouped together. That you have to do what you have to do to see if you can get these games played.
Right. Tell me if you did the same thing. When the commissioner came out and said that, I think the NFL released a statement saying that if one team has a lot of COVID cases and the other doesn't, then the team with the COVID cases will forfeit. The win goes to the other team. Nobody gets paid, but the win goes to the team without the COVID issue. Yeah. When I first saw that, I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to my television when I saw it come across. I went, I don't believe you.
Or did you say BS?
Yeah.
Language than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was closer to that. You know me pretty well. So I thought to myself, no, and for a couple of reasons. One, like you said, the playoff push thing. The other was the more basic thing, which is the money. All of a sudden, there's no game. All of a sudden, no one's getting paid. All of a sudden, they're not making money. Forget about it. They weren't going to do that.
Think about it like this, man. This is the thing that got me. And I didn't get an answer to my question because you don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. This is eerily similar to what happened to us last year, as far as after Thanksgiving, COVID cases surged and everything like that. So I had a lot of questions about, okay, why are we in Groundhog's Day? Not on Groundhog's Day, but in Groundhog's Day, because we're reliving 2020 all over again, as far as that's concerned. The rampant COVID cases, the threat of games being missed, the NBA postponing games. The Hawks had a game postponed the other day. Trae Young is in the COVID protocol, threatening for him not to be on the court on Christmas Day when the Hawks were slated to play on Christmas Day. I just heard the Sixers are just getting out of COVID protocol or something. They're getting so it just kind of makes you wonder, man, what the heck? Why we keep making the same mistakes?
Right.
That's not a question for me to answer. I don't know the answer to the question, but I mean, it's one of those things where NFL, the NBA, hockey, everybody's trying to figure out a way to push through all of this.
All right. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I have to ask you this question. If you're in the locker room, like Rodney McLeod, Eagle safety, came out and said recently, wait, how are we being penalized for this? Make it make sense. Darius Slay came out and said he's going to double up on his massages this week because the Eagles got to play Tuesday. Then they got to play on Sunday during the playoff push here against the Giants on Sunday. The Mike Glennon Giants, by the way, for the record. So if you're in the locker room, if Hugh Douglas is still playing football and this news comes across, how are you reacting to this?
Are you talking about the news of the game being postponed?
The game is not canceled. The game is postponed to Tuesday. You have to play on Tuesday and then Sunday.
Yeah, you're talking about in the short period of time that I had to play like 3 games in 13 days or something crazy like that?
Yes.
You know what I'm going to say?
I think, can I take a guess?
Yes.
Do I get my game check? The answer to that is no.
But definitely that. But, man, listen, this is the time of year where you start to see a little bit of a separation of players.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, from my friends up there in Philadelphia, I know how Ike and Richie feel about this. I know how those two guys feel about it. John Ritchie, I know how they feel. You got to suck it up, man. You got to suck it up. You're the playoff push. You got to suck it up. I mean, do what you have to do as far as getting ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get ready to play because this is that time of year that separates everybody. Nobody wants to be touched. Everybody's banged up.
Okay.
But the teams that want to make it to the playoffs, those are the ones that push through. Those are the ones that don't quit. Perseverance.
Let me ask the question a little bit different. What would Hugh Lamont Douglas III have tweeted, if anything, once you found out you had to play Tuesday and Sunday? Would you be against them not having to forfeit? Like, would you have wanted the game to be forfeited and you get the win, but you don't get the paycheck? Or would you want to play the 2 games?
Well, okay, yeah. Okay, I see what you're asking me now.
Yeah.
If I would want you to be the man of your word and stick to your word, number one.
Okay.
If you said that they wanted to, if they were supposed to forfeit the game, then they're supposed to forfeit the game. But since you put the edict down that they're going to play, I would say F it. Bump it. We got to do what we have to do. I mean, that's the decision that you have to make. That's basically what it is. We all know this is about money. This is about money.
Sure.
This is about money and getting eyeballs on the screen because people are going to watch no matter how much this game has inconvenienced all of us. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to tune in and we're going to watch the Eagles go for the playoff push because just like this weekend, the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons pooped the bed. They pooped the bed. They went out to San Fran and got beat up. They got beat up.
Yeah.
So as a player, if I have to play these games in this short period of time, knowing that I'm still alive for the playoffs, I got to do what I got to do. So I'm gonna say F it with a couple other letters behind that, 3 others behind that F, and I'm just gonna go out there and play.
Gotcha.
That's all you have. It's no need. Listen, Mark. To be honest, it's no need to complain about it. It's no need to tweet about it because it's happening. Like the NFL, it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing you can do is do everything in your power to get ready to go. What's funny? When you ask me that, I can hear Brian in my ear right now saying, hey, man, do what you got to do to get ready.
Doc? You're talking about Doc?
Brian Dawkins, yeah. B-Dog. Do what you got to do to get ready. And everybody would look at each other and be like, yeah, it's that time of year. I mean, because it is. It's that time of year, man. I mean, listen, you're going to watch games in the next couple of weeks where you're going to be able to see who visibly quits on the field. You're going to be able to see that, especially teams that can run the ball extremely well. And guys out there, and you see them, they're going to be thinking about making tackles, but then they'll be like, oh, my shoulder hurts too bad. It's kind of cold outside. I really don't want to be here. You're going to see a lot of that in the next couple of weeks.
My man.
That's where you separate yourself at right there. So, yeah, suck it up, man, and get ready to play.
Love it. We will pass along that advice to the Philadelphia Eagles. Hugh Lamont Douglas III, thank you for everything. You are the man. I appreciate you so much, brother. You know I love you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
And your beautiful children that get you those awesome graphic tees.
Awesome graphic tees, man. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you too, brother. From 92.9, the game in Atlanta, and also, of course, from the Philadelphia Eagles, my man, Hugh Lamont Douglas III. Hugh Douglas, thank you so much, brother.
Not a problem, brother. Peace.
Peace. The one, the only, Hugh Lamont Douglas III, joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. I saw the chat. Things were popping. And I'm following that interview, and there was something right here on the show. And I was like, what is that? I couldn't tell what that, I thought it was a box of tissues I had here, and it wasn't. You know what it was? I totally forgot. It was our friend the Penguin. Yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, but my thanks to you for jumping on there. And how about that? That's exactly the role I would have pictured Brian Dawkins in if this would happen in 2002, whatever, where everyone's kind of looking at each other and they're going, "What the hell, man? This is BS. How come we got to play this game?" The NFL said this was going to be a forfeit for the team that had the COVID issue. That's Washington. That's not us. So we get the win. We're 7-7. Let's concentrate on beating the Giants, then Washington again, and then actually beating Washington, and then going and beating the Cowboys on week 18. In week 18. And that's not the case. So you'd probably sit there and you'd be pissed off. You'd be, what's the word? You'd sulk for a minute. And then Brian Dawkins would be the guy coming in, probably bench pressing 1,000 pounds. Dag nabbit. Dog nabbit. And then he'd just say, "This is what we got to do. We got to play. We got to win. We got to make the playoffs." And then everyone kind of go, "Fine." And then they go out there and they play and they'd win and they make the playoffs. I mean, here's the thing. The Eagles, unfortunately, do not control their own destiny. They can get as close to that as possible by winning their next 4 games. So that'd be nice. And let's hope that they do that. But let's not forget that with all the other things that need to fall into place for the Eagles, whenever I think about those different scenarios, those million other scenarios that depend on whether or not the Vikings beat the Bears twice or the Bears could split with the Vikings and all that. And after last night, it doesn't really look much like the Bears can do anything. And that next game is going to be at home for the Vikings. Cool. When it comes to all that, I always think about all the different scenarios and think about Andy Reid not knowing. I believe it was the year the Eagles went to the NFC Championship game and lost to the Cardinals, that Andy Reid had to be told with, I believe, 2 games left to play that he was not eliminated. And I want to say it was Marc Eckel of the Trenton Times that asked the question to Andy Reid about how, well, you're still not out of it, so what do you tell the team? And Andy's like, what? We're not out? I think we're not out? Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to him later. Like, that was the guy. He was shocked. He didn't know that he hadn't been eliminated yet. That's how many different scenarios out there with the head coach of a football team that's probably going to the Hall of Fame, by the way, Andy Reid. He doesn't even know the amount of things that can fall into place for them to actually make the playoffs. So when you look at the Eagles right now, it's a little bit easier where, yeah, if you win your next 4 games, you're going to be in a much better spot with 10 wins than you would be if you lost one of them. So it doesn't come down to them controlling their own destiny, but they can make it that by week 7 or week 18, they can certainly force that scenario where they do control their own destiny eventually. So let's hope that happens. But yeah, I do picture Doc being the guy in the room to be like, all right, guys, everyone done complaining? All right, let's do this. Let me tell you about the great people of Rothman Orthopaedics. Maybe your knee gave out. Maybe you tweaked your back. Maybe you popped your shoulder. Maybe you have a pinched nerve like me. Well, guess what? Get evaluated by the great people of Rothman Orthopaedics because they can get you back to being you, back to the old you. Rothman Approach to Orthopedics is exactly what you need to get back to being you. Back to running, back to walking, back to working, back to playing, back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments available, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Rothman Orthopaedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and 76ers. How about the great people of WinView? I did have Joel Embiid's over last night, so that made me feel a lot better. Thank you for that prop, WinView. Appreciate that. Overall, though, I didn't pick the Sixers to win. I picked the Celtics. But anyway, WinView helped me out with my bet on Joel Embiid and his over 28.5 points. WinView is the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who's the biggest sports fan? If you have those friends and family members who think they know everything about sports, play them in a WinView contest and see if they can walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. You want to break the monotony of family dinners and get-togethers over the holiday? Play your friend or family member in a WinView contest and follow all the games on Sunday. Follow all the games in the NBA on Thursday as well and see what happens. While you're tracking all the games, you can challenge a friend or family member to a WinView contest. Just remember, it's not a sports book. It's not daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where fans can take on other fans for making predictions on the games that you love so much. How about the people at PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. Everything that's going on right now in the sports world in Philadelphia. Make sure you're following on PHLSportsNation.com, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. BetQL, if you want to get the advantage over your sportsbook, you need the BetQL app, the only app you'll need to make the smart bets. Their best bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports, and they give you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads, over-unders, player props as well. And if you don't want to use their model, prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research needs. Everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injuries, breaking news, even a leaderboard for you to track your own success. And oh man, there'll be a lot of it when you use BetQL. Head to the App Store right now or Google Play Store to download the BetQL app. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the chat check. Here's what we got. First of all, I want to leave this up because I did Fox yesterday. And I said that if it came up, I was going to give our man shout out to John Cheeseborough on Fox, who highlighted the fact that the Denver Broncos were forced to play last year with a wide receiver as the quarterback, yet the Eagles now can't take in the forfeit for the Washington football team who couldn't put their wide receiver at quarterback, and they didn't play on Sunday. They have to play on Tuesday. So, John, I'm sorry that didn't come up. I got you next time, brother. I got you next time. Let's see. What else do we have here leading things off for us in our chat? Why is this? Oh, because we got so many people. April, good morning. Mally, good morning. Mally, good morning again. I'm saying for a Christmas gift, Marc should get a weather girl. Use guys. Happy Taco Football Tuesday, Farzy in the chat. I like it. Let's all have tacos tonight. Actually, here's what I'm having tonight. Because before the game, I've never made lobster ravioli before. So I made it last night, and it was good. It wasn't great. Like, I'm making it for 7 Fish on Christmas Eve on Friday for the family. And it was good. It wasn't great. I think I made the pasta a little too thick, and I think I need a little bit more. I've never said this before. I think I need a little bit more garlic. Usually I am like right on point with garlic. I think I need a little bit more garlic in the filling and a little chunkier lobster. You know what I mean? So you're not just getting hints of lobster. You're getting like, oh, my God, that's a lot of lobster. You know what I mean? Everybody wants that when they have a lobster ravioli. So I'm going to make it again tonight because I got to get it perfect by Friday. So I will not be having tacos tonight. I'll be having lobster ravioli. Homemade, pasta from scratch, and everything but what do you call it? I'm not milking the goat. You know what I mean? For the ricotta. Yeah, for the ricotta. Yeah, for that cheese. Anyway, but hey, if you want a taco tonight, that's not a bad combo. Taco Tuesday football. Yeah, I'm in. Maybe next time around when it's not Christmas. That was a lot of words. Sorry. People who are driving to the game tonight, I pray for you. Good morning, says Dak. Good morning, Dak. Nice to have you. Dan, good morning, people. Nice win for the Sixers. Scrap bench got 1 point by the short, but they were shorthanded. They sure were. Mally, yes, that's the game you want to have from Tobias Harris every single night. So I'm hoping that Tobias Harris not having to play Sunday and getting that extra off day. And what do they play? Thursday? And then they were off till Sunday. And then Sunday got canceled, so they were off till Monday. I'm hoping that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, those 3 days were the days off that Tobias Harris needed to hopefully get back to 100%. And hopefully this is the brand that we get from Tobias Harris every single night now. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people were hating on Tobias Harris, and I said to sit him. And some people were like, how do you sit a max contract player? And I'm like, it's not a matter of like, you suck, you're benched. It's a matter of you sit out. You wear your nice blazer, your turtleneck, your gold chain, and you sit there and you just enjoy watching basketball because you ain't playing. As a matter of fact, don't even come to the game. You're not even sitting out. You're laying out. Go home and take a nap. Well, whatever it was, I think it was those days off that he came back and he looked a hell of a lot better last night. And the mindset was obviously there, as Doc Rivers pointed out after the game. And also, Joel Embiid pointed out after the game saying how much they wanted this win. But Mally, you're exactly right. That's the game they need every single night from Tobias Harris. So far, everything has gone against the Eagles, from the game being moved to New Orleans, San Francisco, Minnesota winning. It's starting to get Joe Webb-itis. Ugh. Let's hope not. You know, in that Joe Webb game, I'm going to tell you what I think of after I think of Joe Webb in that Tuesday night game. I think of arguing with weatherman extraordinaire Jim Cantore. That's right. I was working for NBC at the time, behind the scenes as a production assistant. And this was, God, that game was 11 years ago? Yeah. And I remember I was giving Jim Cantori a ride back to the hotel after the Winter Classic. So that was Joe Webb game happened that football season. That New Year's Eve was the Winter Classic in Pittsburgh. And Jim Cantori had said, you can't play this game. You can't play this game. It's crazy. And he was in Philadelphia that Sunday night because it was a Sunday night broadcast. And I remember like a couple of weeks later, I was giving him a ride back to the hotel. And he said, oh, you're from Philadelphia. Oh, thank God you guys canceled that game. And that pissed me off so much that they had to cancel that game because all I did was hear it for a week from my Sunday night friends about, oh, Northeast Philadelphia, Northeast city in America can't handle snow. Oh, this city's an embarrassment. And I'm like, shut up. That's how I chose to handle it. Anyway, so Jim Cantori was like, oh, thank God you guys canceled that game. You know, you guys got 75% of your winter precipitation in one day, right? And I'm like, you don't cancel football because of snow, Jimmy. I didn't say Jimmy. I said, good, sir. But yeah, so I argued with Jim Cantori about the weather. That's a whole new level of stubbornness, folks. I see some people alluding to my Italian heritage in the chat here. That's what you would call testadore. So it is funny. My dad's family comes from a place in Italy called Calabria. And if you go to Italy, if they say, first off, if you're Italian American, you've never been to Italy and you're going to Italy at some point, never say you're Italian. Now, I didn't make this mistake. I knew not to make this mistake going over there because you ain't Italian. You're American. All right. Here you're Italian. Over there you're American. So anyway, they have to lead that conversation. Like they have to ask you if you have Italian heritage. It's the only way it can be brought up. So if they look at you and you look Italian, they'll ask you. And they thought I looked Italian, so they said, are you Italian? And I said, I'm American. And they said, where's your family from? I said, Calabria. So whenever you say your family's from Calabria or whatever, they all do the same thing. Every single person did this. Calabrese, hard head, a testadora. That's what my family is known for. That's what my heritage is known for, being stubborn, hard-headed people. So much so that it is well within the not lexicon. The colloquialism is understood in Italy. So yeah, that's me arguing with Jim Cantori. Very hard-headed. I'm a big fat idiot. Sorry. Let's see. Love everything. Score predictions. There you go. Eagles 27, Washington 15. Ben Timmons, you're not off from my prediction. Not far off. Light color shirt, chest showing. It's starting to feel like Christmas, says Mally. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you guys reference the buttons being unbuttoned like that, I always think, oh, do I have a lot going out there? Is this an X-rated Farzy show today for the people watching on the YouTube or Twitter or Twitch or whatever? People are now acknowledging. Gabe, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Buddy, Eagles 12, Washington 8. Gross. His observation, Mally, that Chest is out there today trying to be like Magic Marc. Don't put it past me. You're welcome, ladies. Marc needs gold chains from Steven Singers. This is Dak. Marc needs gold chains from Steven Singer. Is going to have that chest out. April says Eagles 30, Washington 13. Again, close to mine. We'll get to mine in a second. Mally, Dan, it's Christmas. He about to have his 2 seed. Can only imagine. Marc needs extra cash. Her dancing at Delilah's on Christmas Eve. One night with Marc comes out dressed as Frank Sinatra. Very nice, Mally. Dak needs the big chain with the Italian horn. We've talked about the Italian horn. This is my own personal preference. Because I am not 100% Italian, I will not wear the Italian horn. I feel like that's a little much for me. That's only me. Anybody else, you do your thing. April, for instance, she rocks the Italian horn. And she's awesome. Good for her. April, if you didn't hear me yesterday, my mom acknowledges you in the chat. My mom was like, yeah, because you have April and Dan and Mally and everyone in the chat. And I'm like, damn right I do, Mom. They're awesome. April got her husband the Avengers shirt as gingerbread men. I'd wear that. Ben, Hugh's Day season. You're damn right. April, all respect to the Italian horde. Absolutely. Hugh looks crisp. Brett, he does. Buddy, laugh my ass off. He does. Thomas, yes, hello. Big wheels, Dak. They were getting it done. April loved her big wheel. John Cheeseborough, nice to see you, buddy. Watch the Marvel. Okay, John, watch the Marvel movies in timeline order, not release order. So when I had the Rona, right? When I had the Rona, I was sitting on my sofa. I watched the Marvel movies. all of them. And then I had some time on my hands, and I rewatched them in chronological order. Not release, chronological order. So I think Captain Marvel, the lady with the Captain Marvel lady, I watched her because that's supposed to be the earliest one. And yeah, I think that's how it works. And yeah, I watched them all the way through again. And I was blown away. And I wasn't a comic book guy at all. Still not. I just enjoy cinema. And man, it was great. I really enjoyed it. Dan Schwartz, Robin isn't Marvel, but I don't discriminate against DC. Oh, I will say, I like the DC movies that are supposed to rival the Marvel comic universe. They don't look so good. I don't know what it is about them. They're just not as good. And I love Batman. Don't get me wrong. I love Batman. I love Superman. How did I not love Superman? Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Come on. No spoiler, Batman. Dragon Ball Z was anime twist. What? More Sealski conversation. John Cheeseborough. Wow. Eagles 31. Blank Man's team 17. The Blank Man stuff is just great. What a great movie. Mally, Blank Man was classic. Blank Man with David Alan Grier and Damon Wayans. And damn it, what was Mike Tyson's ex-wife's name? But she was lovely in that movie. Sealski is the reason people trip over something that's not there. Very nice, John. Brett, good morning. Sealski is Tales from the Philly Sports Sonic. Oh, my God. What else do we have here? Wow, we really went down the Sealski rabbit hole today, folks, didn't we? Dan, wow, Marc confused a penguin for a box of tissues. Stoned. Phew. Yeah. So that's what I had on my desk. It was more like a bag. And I'm like, what the? I thought I threw that down. And I did, and it was still there. And look, it was the penguin the whole time. Anyway, I digress. I know you appreciate the pronunciation of old you. Robin Givens. Thank you, John. Mom, the meatloaf. Mopar, good morning. Tail end today, but still made it. Pete, welcome. I'm glad you made the show. Robin Givens, Mike Tyson Dex. Thank you, Sean. Superhero talk here, please. Yeah, I noticed that superhero talk. April, oh my God, April. So our family's from the same area of Italy, Calabria. My family's town is Maida. It's a hill town, 45,000 people. If you look at it on the side of the hill, it's just somebody threw ink at the hill, and it's this little spot. Dan, I've never heard that before. That's good. Dan Dan said, sounds like something Marc's dad would say. Give it up, Marc, and I'll Calabria. Calabria. Yeah, Calabria. I get it. The name's Farzetto. Google. Oh, geez. Let's take down Jim Cantore. Jim Cantore is awesome. All right, to even have a conversation with my dumb ass about the weather is how awesome that man is. Anyway, that's what it is. Thanks, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys joining the show. You guys are awesome as per usual. Thank you so much. Let's jump into our Morning Rush segment brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Yes, Robin Givens still getting it done. Not for nothing. NHL is taking a break. How about that? Just when the Flyers were starting to win and get a point streak going of 5 games, the NHL decides to take a break. They're still going to play the Capitals tonight, but then Wednesday, the Flyers are taking a holiday break. So they're taking a winter siesta, if you will. Taking a holiday break for the holidays, obviously, and we'll see when they come back to work. With everything happening with Omicron, all the Omicron, the leagues are being as cautious as possible. Unless you're the NFL, where you're doing less testing, because that still makes a lot of sense. And you're still making your players play a game that they shouldn't have to play after you already said the game was going to be forfeited. And you did it. Nice job. The Eagles, here we go. I already mentioned the Sixers. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Atlanta Hawks. Hopefully they pull out that victory, and hopefully you continue to get this type of effort from Tobias Harris. Eagles go into this game as 6.5-point favorites against the Washington football team. No idea if it's going to be Allen at quarterback for Washington, if it's going to be Heineke at quarterback for Washington. I'm sure we'll know that as the game gets closer and closer. But regardless, the Eagles are going to win this football game. I'm very confident that the Eagles are going to win this football game. There's some obvious reasons there. They're the better football team. Washington sucks. They're at home. The Eagles will have their starting quarterback back, Jalen Hurts. Jeff McClain even pointed out in his article last night that Jalen Hurts will play. So I'm speculating. He's saying he will play. I think the Eagles are going to win this game by a grand score of 27-13. So some people that looked at this and were close to that score, I know a couple of you were, that's the way I see this game playing out. You're going to be looking at guys like Miles Sanders. You're going to be looking at guys like Jordan Howard. You're going to be looking at guys like Nate Herbig on the offensive line that needs to hold his ground with Landon Dickerson being out. A lot of shifting on that offensive line. You're going to be looking at Devontae Smith get more involved in this game plan, and that's one of the things I like seeing Jalen Hurts in there. With Gardner Minshew in there, you didn't see Devontae Smith as much. They ran a lot of 13 personnel, and they ended up having Jalen Reagor on the field more than they had Devontae Smith. That should never happen. But that's what it did against the Jets. I think the Eagles are going to be a much better offense overall and much more stable with Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback in this game. I know a lot of people were saying, this is going to be good for the Eagles because they get Jalen Hurts back. I don't think it's that much of a difference. However, I do think the offense will be more efficient and more of what we have become, what we have known throughout the season with Jalen Hurts there. And one of the things that really stuck out to me about Hugh Douglas and what he told us was teams that run the football well this time of year tend to do better as the season starts to wind down. Because with their run game, they're doing something very classic with their offensive line and making sure that their offensive line isn't exerting too much energy and they can play a full game because they're just simply doing the thud and done, which means you make the block and you're done. You're not holding pass blocks. Teams that run the ball well keep their offensive line fresh and wear down defenses, and they can have more success as both the season and the games wear on. The Washington football team doesn't come in here with a great run defense by any means. Eagles should be able to take care of that easily in this particular game. I know you can look at the game they played against the Dallas Cowboys. I almost called them the Dallas football team. And they held Ezekiel Elliott to, I think it was 3.1 yards per carry. So that's pretty good. I think the Eagles, with as many runners as they have in this backfield, including their quarterback, and as much as they roll him out to run, I don't think the Washington football team will be able to keep up with it. And watching them get back after it at home after this layoff with a chip on their shoulder, I think the Eagles win this game 27-13. So I look forward to them handling their business tonight, Tuesday Night Football, against the Washington football team. So that's where I like to see it. That's where I like to see this game ending up. Take the alternate spread, 12.5. I don't know if I'm that ballsy, but that go for it. If you're that confident, go for it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Much appreciated. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow to hopefully talk about this Eagles win. No. You know what the hell with that hopefully stuff? I'm not hedging. To talk about the Eagles win and the Eagles being 7-7. Still very much in the playoff hunt. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Jim Hyden produced the program. Oh, how do I forget this? I wrote this down. I made sure I didn't forget this. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for this news. The Farzy Show is now on TikTok. That's right. Check us out on TikTok, at Farzy Show on TikTok. Hi, kids. I'm on TikTok. How's everybody doing? So make sure you guys check us out. We'll be having news posts and all that fun stuff. And maybe I'll just perform whatever trend is popular on TikTok. But I'll just do it in my, even though I'm technically a millennial, I'll do it in boomer fashion where I'm unimpressed with it, but I'll do it begrudgingly. But I'll think of a nice little first TikTok video where it's a specific TikTok video, and we'll let you guys know so you guys can check me out there. Also, later today, I'll be releasing from Rothman Orthopaedics, our podcast that we did last week, and let you guys know how you can win Sixers, Clippers, courtside tickets. So make sure you guys are paying attention to my social media accounts after today's program. Around noon, we'll get those out to you. So enjoy that. Make sure you check it out. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production from the Steven Singer Studios. I'm Marc Farzetta. Go Birds, baby. 7-7 after tonight. Take it easy.